Welcome to Event Up, the place where people enthusiastic about events stay in the know on the latest trends within the events industry. Live, hybrid, and virtual experiences. From virtual events to conferences, award galas, and everything in between.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Event Up Podcast. I'm Sara, Director of Partnerships here at IMG and also co-host of this amazing podcast, and I will be your host for this episode. Today, we have something a little bit different prepared for you. We're talking about something that every marketer brings up lately, honestly. Sometimes quietly, sometimes in a slight panic. So we're diving into a topic that every marketer is talking about right now. How do you truly measure ROI in experiential marketing? Events, they aren't just moments anymore. They are investments, or they should be perceived as so. But without the right framework, they're also one of the hardest channels to quantify. Whether you're producing pop-ups, creator events, summits, brand activations, or community experiences, ROI always comes up every single time. It can be before, it can be during, or it can be after. So that's exactly why we created the Experiential ROI Playbook, to give marketers clarity, confidence, and a way to finally make their events not just memorable, but measurable. In this episode, I'm giving you a behind-the-scenes, storytelling style look at why we built the playbook, the lessons and insights that inspired it, and a few real client examples. We're also going to put the link on the description of these episodes so that you can go and check it out for yourself. It's completely free. It's just a tool we wanted to provide for our clients and our network, and we hope you find it very useful. So let's start with a reality check that we see across the industry. Most events today are still measured on vibes. You know the drill. We had a great turnout. People loved the experience. The photos looked amazing. Our hashtag got some traction. So, of course, all of those things matter, but they don't really answer the real question that leadership wants to know. What did this actually do for the business? And that's where marketers start to feel the pressure. Why? Because experiences are powerful, but multidimensional. A pop-up isn't just an event. A summit isn't just a gathering, and an activation doesn't just live in one place. Experiential impacts awareness, sentiment, behaviors, social amplification, community connection, but all those things don't always show up in a neat numbers-only report. And yet event budgets keep getting tighter and tighter each year, which means marketers need a clearer, smarter way to communicate ROI, but without forcing everything into one unrealistic metric. That pain point is actually what inspired us to create this playbook. So here's the story. A few years ago, after wrapping a major beauty activation, our client pulled us aside and said, "This was one of our strongest brand moments, but I don't know how to explain why to leadership." And that hit us. Because for us, the reasons were obvious. The creators showed up strong, the UGC was nonstop, the emotional connection was high, and the community felt seen and heard. The online conversations even continued for weeks after. So the problem was that none of that existed in a clear, structured report that they could take back internally and use it to reinvest in their efforts. So that's when it clicked. Marketers aren't struggling to create great experiences. They're struggling to quantify them and prove their value. So we asked ourselves, how do we create a measurement system that works for any event, any industry, any category, any audience? And the question became the foundation for our playbook. So this playbook introduces a 3-layer approach to understanding event performance. Think of experiential like a building. The ROI is proven in steps. If you only measure the roof, like attendance or impressions, you're missing the structure and the foundation. The full ROI story comes from understanding the people that encountered the brand, the way that they interacted, and the shift that happened afterward. Most teams only measure the first part, which is how people encountered the brand. But the most important value, or some of the other important values, is often found in the other layers. Inside our playbook, we break this down visually with a diagram, examples, and measurement prompts but we're not going to give those away here. You're going to have to go and download it. So what matters for now is this. Experiential ROI isn't one metric. It isn't one calculation. It's a layered story. And once you start measuring those layers, everything changes. So let's talk about real world application of this thinking. One of the biggest examples in the playbook, and we wanted to really share this case study. We just did an A&A speaking engagement at the experiential committee. And we were so happy to share this with marketers because it's such a success story and it was so impactful for our client that we really wanted to share the wisdom and take it all around. So this example is TikTok Beauty Unwrapped. It was a holiday pop-up that we executed on a very tight timeline with strict delineations for brand. And also it was an on-site open to the public activation. So that comes with its challenges, as you know. So the challenge wasn't just like make this event look good. It was make this event work strategically for creators, for the brands, and TikTok's business goals. So instead of thinking event first, logistics first, we thought experience plus content as an ecosystem. A few behind the scenes decisions that made a huge difference that I can share with you is one, treating the activation as both a physical moment and a content engine. We didn't really just like build a pretty fabrication and pretty room. We built a space that creators wanted to film in, and we really designed the environment to be a content generation machine. The second one would be designing shareable touch points. So every corner had a purpose, every backdrop told a story. It was very intentional and nothing was accidental. The third point is mixing creator tiers strategically. We did a full social media campaign surrounding our activations. And I mentioned this previously that activations are never just housed in just one place. You have the in-person experience, you have the digital experience, and hopefully if you have the right partner with you, you're going to be able to expand that impact all across different channels. So macro creators, mid-tier creators, micro, even nano creators, each one played a role in this campaign and each one amplified the impact in a different way. The fourth point and final point is that the pre-event seeding really created huge FOMO. We know that we are competing for people's attentions. There's so many activations every week, at least here in LA, and we need to differentiate our brand no matter who you are. So we created the Beauty Unwrapped Advent boxes. So we were tapping into a cultural moment and we sent them out early, and creators started posting even before stepping into the event itself. So that created a lot of FOMO, that created a lot of momentum, and it also helped us with our attendance rates. One creator literally told us, "I've been seeing this everywhere, so I had to come." So that's what you want. That's ROI beyond just attendance. Now, I won't reveal what the full measurement breakdown KPIs or all the architecture, because all of that is in the playbook and I want you to go check it out. But what I will say is that the reason that this generated millions of impressions without paid ads is because we designed for both IRL and URL impact. So it's a perfect example of how modern experiential needs to think. We cannot think about, I am just experiential, I am just social. We really need to have a comprehensive, holistic view of our activations nowadays. So here's something really interesting. Most event reports look the same. It's basically a bunch of random numbers and metrics that don't necessarily tell the impact or show value. So we're giving you a couple of examples. We're giving you quite a few sturdy list of what do we measure for our clients and how we have been able to continue proving value for our clients and for their leadership. Some of these are emotional impact, which is not necessarily social sentiment, and it's not necessarily brand awareness, advocacy and amplification, behavioral science, on-the-ground feedback, what we hear from the brand ambassadors on site, what we hear from the creators, and obviously sentiment shift beyond the obvious year-on-year sales and all of your standard metrics that you may see on an everyday report. These reveal the quality of the experience, not just the quantity. But again, so the full list plus how to measure each one, how to choose each metric, and where they fit into your layered framework, that's all inside the playbook. Go download it now. At the end of the day, we built this because marketers deserve to know tools and have the tools to reflect the true power of experiential. Experiences spark connection, they influence behavior, they shape culture, they create brand loyalists. But none of that matters if you can communicate it to leadership and you can't advocate for your own program. This playbook helps you do that clearly, confidently, and with the metrics that actually make sense. If you want to explore the full 3-layer framework, the complete TikTok case study, the ROI worksheet, and all of the metrics that we didn't mention here, you can download the Experiential ROI Playbook for free at innovatemkg.com. It's also in the show notes. It's built for marketers, event leaders, brand managers, and creators who just want to measure what that truly matters. Not just the pretty moments, the pretty pictures, but the actual impact and how it's going to drive momentum for your brand. So thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to follow the show and share it with anyone who's planning their next event or activation. And as always, let's keep turning moments into measurable brand impact. Thank you, and see you on the next one.
Thank you for listening. Tune in next time on Event Up.